Hello everyone and welcome to Between Plays. We're going to look at lithium Chile right now. We're going to talk about a little bit of the importance of lithium, and let's get on it right away so we can have a short video. Alright, so let's take a look at lithium Chile over here. This is, for me, it's going to be another one of those stocks that are going to hold a lot of potential in the near and long-term future. So I would consider this probably a speculative play, but with research involved that's going to put them on the map. And since lithium is in such high demand, I mean, all you have to do is look at the fight recently, the bidding war between Ganfeng and CATL for millennial lithium. All right, and in the end, CATL outbid Ganfeng for for the lithium mine. Now, the lithium mine, but for the lithium, for that company. Now, you also have to look at Ganfeng at the same time, a couple of days before, ended up buying the 10% that International Lithium has had owned in their Argentina plant in the Mariana project, which is a big project, which holds a lot of lithium, all right? And at the same time, they not only buy out the 10% that International Lithium had in it, but they also had to purchase the other 10% right that International Lithium was allowed to acquire. So they had to buy out those rights too. So it's like buying out another 20% of International Lithium, so to speak. So the thing is International Lithium ended up getting a Ganfeng ended up buying all that out from International Lithium for the Mariana project. So a couple of days before. So did they really have to outbid for millennial lithium? No, they really didn't have to, because they got that whole lithium, the Mariana, which they're developing it right now. So that's huge for them. So they probably said, you know what, we got the Mariana that we're doing anyways now. They probably just said, okay, we're not going to bother with the bidding and all this kind of stuff. So lithium is really important because you can see that these two big players are purchasing more and more and more, and then you're going to have other people that are going to be looking as well, right? You're going to have other battery makers that are going to need, so, you know, and other card, you know, manufacturers. So it's a big thing. So lithium Chile right now is at, you can see there's a little 50 cents over here, a little spike. So if we go back, let's just do a 6-month over here, you can see that they're pretty much holding off between like 55 cents, let's just say 54, and their low here was 26.50. Would have been nice to get in at 26.50, that's for sure. But if you do a 1 year, you see them here around the 20 cents area, spiking to 42, 30, hitting an all-time high over here. I would guess all-time high, or at least within the 1 year, because I didn't bother looking at the maximum. But you have 87 cents here. And then you got this one dip at 26 where the market all really dipped down at that time. So I'm looking at, you know, anywhere between 44 cents, 40 cents, 44 cents is a great, you know, play to get in. But, you know, you can't time the market, and you don't really know what's going to happen, especially with these companies, because the insides, you know, there's a lot of money that comes in from other places, and then stock can go up at any potential point. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because you see here 5 months ago, you have this trading halt, right? So you have Lithium Chile building a large lithium producer in Chile, right? But the one that is, I find, so they have a lot of projects. Lithium Chile is huge, by the way, okay? So they're just huge. But what I really, really like here is largest undeveloped salar could put lithium Chile on a path to production. And this is about a high-grade project in Argentina that they just acquired this year. Now, you'll see, watch this. Engaged in the acquisition development of mineral properties in Chile, Lithium Chile is growing its reach to include high-grade project in Argentina. So in May 2021, news release. So you can see we did a year back. This is probably when it spiked, correct? So let's go back here. This is something that's interesting to me. Add an Argentinian lithium salar property to its portfolio through a binding letter of intent (LOI) SMG SRL of Jujuy, Argentina, the company can earn up to 80% interest in a 233 square kilometer Salar de Arizaro, located in Salta province. Nearby major companies in the area include Aramian SA and Lithica, formerly LSC Lithium. The LOI gives Lithium Chile the opportunity to earn a large and dominant land position in the center of the largest undeveloped salar in Argentina. A 3-hole exploration program in 2019 identified a high-grade lithium zone in the aquifer. The size and potential of the Salar de Arizona is well known. So this isn't just buying up land and going, we have no idea what's there. So for me, this is huge, all right? 850 milligram lithium grades already established from a 3-hole drill program conducted in 2019. Surface area of Arizona prospect larger than the Salar de Pastos Grande, which is millennial lithium. Didn't we just speak about, the war, basically the bidding war between CATL and Ganfeng? And millennial lithium has a ton of lithium. Like, it's big, all right? Now, this is bigger, all right? And the Lithica project. Lithium Chile will be one of the only junior companies with active programs in 2 of the Lithium Triangle countries because they have an active program in Lithium Chile. So Lithium Chile will be one of the only junior companies. Look at these assay results, and the company is hailing this as a transformative acquisition. Lithium Chile's president and CEO, Steve Cochrane, stated that by entering this agreement, it affords Lith the opportunity to potentially transition from a pure exploration company to that of a producing company. What else do you need more than that? Go to, according to this, last month, August 25th. August, September, October, so it's a little bit more now than a month. Lithium Chile signs definitive agreement and begins drill program on its production test well on the Arizaro property in Argentina, on track and ahead of schedule. So it could become a producing company, and it's got projects in Chile, and it's got, listen, Lithium Chile has got a lot of land. They have that gold prospect. They have like a lot of stuff. So let's just go to, so they have 14 premier projects in the world's highest grade lithium district, all right? They have their ESG philosophy, investor prestige. Okay, I would suggest that people take the time to go and look this stuff up and do their due diligence. You have the Salars here, page 1 of 2, the Arizaro here, Salar de Atacama, Salar de los Moros, Salar de Helados, Salar de Laguna Blanca. Now, Lithium Chile signs a definitive agreement with the Arizaro property in Argentina. Lithium Chile continues to expand its Carmona gold, silver, copper prospect in the SA. So they have, you have to look at this as well. They got gold. So Lithium Chile provides operators update on its Argentina lithium project. This was June 15th. So June, July, August. We got this one over here that's newer. So if we want to go and take a look at this, let's just say, on June 15th, Lithium Chile, please announce a significant progress has been made towards the drilling of the company's initial production test well on its Arizaro property in Salta province, Argentina. Work program outline and budget completed. So work program outline and budget is completed. Total cost below forecast, which is amazing. Drilling contractor retained. Senior consulting geologist, 30 plus years in lithium experience retained. So initial operation meeting was held within week signing a LOI, and plans continue to unfold quickly. Once a definitive agreement is completed, which we've seen that it has, the company hopes to begin drilling the production test well. Drilling should take approximately 8 weeks with 30-day pumping test to follow. The test is designed to analyze and collect data from the target zone that will prove the potential commerciality of the aquifer identified in an earlier exploration program. So Steve Cochrane, president and CEO of the Lithium Chile, commented, "I am very pleased that our Argentina team was established so quickly, allowing us to initiate our production well drilling program. It is exciting that we now have 2 programs underway in 2 of the major countries forming the Lithium Triangle, Chile and Argentina. We are confident that this will create substantial shareholder value." Of course, you have Bolivia, but they don't have one in Bolivia. But that's what makes up the 3 countries. About Lithium Chile. So Lithium Chile is advancing a lithium property portfolio consisting of 71,900 hectares, covering sections of 10 salars, 2 Laguna complexes in Chile, and now 23,300 hectares in Argentina. Lithium Chile also owns 5 properties totaling 22,429 hectares that are prospective for gold, silver, and copper. Exploration efforts are continuing on Lithium Chile's Carmona gold, whatever, which to get through it, which lies in the heart of the Chilean mega porphyry gold, silver, copper belt. Lithium Chile's common shares are listed under LITH and on the over-the-counter under the symbol of LTMCF. I ask people to do their due diligence. I see that this here has huge potential. Huge potential. So learn more about Lithium Chile. You got here. Then it claims the hectares. 100 over 166 acres. You go over here and look this up. From last I saw, it was over 200 something thousand. I mean, I go through a lot of articles and stuff like that, so I just don't want to put every single one of them up here. If you want to look at the financial health over here, you know, I do this for quick reference. I do go look at financial statements and stuff like that, but when I do videos, it's just easier to do quick references. If I saw something that was like really fearful, I would go into those areas and state them. But if you look at overall here, Simply Wall Street takes care of this business by, you know, just making it just easier to understand. For those that, you know, would have a hard time explaining all these types of analysis if I go into financial statements. So anyways, over here, financial health, over here, Lithium Chile, I mean, like, you have all 6 checked off. You have your assets over here, your liabilities. Short-term liabilities exceeds the short-term assets, exceeds the short-term liabilities. Short-term liabilities exceeds its long-term liabilities. For a company that's got that much land, that many like projects, 2 lithium projects, one in Chile, one in Argentina. The one in Argentina is known, we know what it's holding. We know it's holding more than Millennial Lithium. And they're already doing the drilling over there and turning it into a production company. I mean, they're going to be a producing company, and they already have this kind of financial statements for an exploration company is very good. Debt level is debt free, has no debt compared to 5 years. So I mean, that's just nuts, right? That's very good. So cash runway analysis. Why I went back. So stable cash runway has for more than 3 years based on current cash flow. So forecast cash runway has estimated cash runway for 2.9 years. So institutions less than this percent. Individual insiders hold, almost 20%. General public holds the rest. But when you look at the ownership over here, this individual owns almost 7%. So I mean, him selling off this much is peanuts in reality, because he already owns 7% basically, and maybe he needed the money for something or whatever. He has so much money anyways in there that if this stock goes at $10, and he owns already 9 million shares, it's do the math. It's a joke, right? I mean, if you own 1 million shares and it goes to $1, I mean, you're going to be happy as, yeah, you know what I mean? So whatever. It's a drop in the bucket. It's just a drop in the bucket. At this price here, if you've invested into lithium stocks, once the drilling starts and starts coming up, and they start deciding to make ponds in order for the brine to come up in the whole 9 yards and have the evaporation process. Once all this stuff comes up, usually these stocks go above $1. We're at a very good price range right now, and you're looking at 2 different projects in 2 different countries. So you could say to yourself, Chile's always been a very good mine, because you have to look at Albemarle, which is a U.S. company basically, in Chile, and then the SQM of Chile. You look at them, huge lithium producers in Chile, and I mean Chile in 2019, stuff like that. They had a little bit of because they were worried about the water, and there's a whole thing there if you do some research and stuff like that. But they're revitalizing it in Chile. Lithium Chile is going to be in Argentina as well. Well, they are in Argentina as well, right? So they are in Argentina as well. So Lithium Chile is also in Argentina, both. So you have problems in one country, you have the other in mind. You understand? You're it's like diversifying your own portfolio, right? They're diversifying their portfolio. Two different countries. Something happens in this country, who cares? Because I got this one over here. It's actually a pretty safe thing. They have cash. They have great financials from what we see, right? Yeah, so I see Lithium Chile as whether they will be producing it and then 100% owned company and selling it and stuff like that, or whether you're going to have another big player coming in saying, listen, we're going to need the lithium, something, I don't know, like it could be Panasonic, it could be CATL, it could be Canfin, it could be Tesla. It doesn't matter who it could be, right? Maybe automotive car companies that might come in there and say, listen, we're interested in this, so produce for us, we're going to want it, whether it's GM, Ford, Hyundai, Honda, it doesn't matter, okay? Volkswagen, it doesn't matter. Point is that all EV companies are going to need lithium, and when they, if we have battery grade 99 point whatever percent, 99.8, 99.9%, we get up there, battery grade, and then all of a sudden you have more than millennial lithium down there. That's just insanity, man. And then you got stable cash runway of over 3 years. You have nice financials, no debt, whatever. Someone's going to come in and say, listen, I want to join forces. I'm going to need this. And then you're going to see a stock just shoot up. So this is what I call a play, like a speculative play, but based off of research, based off trying to figure out what's happening in the future with the planet, based off of even fundamentals involved too, because I see that they have over 3 years of cash runway. They're in an area that they can mine. They're next to 2 other projects. So, what would be the issues over there? Argentina is a friendly lithium mining country. So you'd have to really figure out, well, what could impede that process. I'm not seeing it's cash and whatever, and I see Argentina being a very friendly mining area. And if we go to see more on this project, well, we could just do a little bit more research. So let's just we'll go a little deeper into this over here. So in 2008, so we said about the 3-hole, right? Basically, the size and potential of Salazar is well known. Major players, Aramet, SA, South America probably, and Litica, formerly LSC Lithium, are neighbors in South. So we said that. Chile views the Arizora project as transformational for the company. So just that alone is great news to hear. Management believes that because such strong as the results have been returned, the project will enable Lithium Chile to rapidly transition. So we said that, right? LOI contemplates that Lithium Chile will earn 60% interest in Arizaro prospect over a term of 3 years in stages. The first stage involves the drilling and production testing of a well to be completed in the first 6 months, okay, at an estimated cost of $800,000, and includes payments to the vendors totaling $300,000. Lithium Chile will be able to analyze the results of the production test, including flow rates and lithium grades. So this is the first within the first stage, which takes up to 6 months. Then thereafter have a 180-day period to exercise its option to proceed to the second stage involving further property expenditures totaling US $6 million over 2.5 years, which will earn Lithium Chile a 60% interest in the entire project. Lithium Chile will be entitled to acquire an additional 20% interest in the entire project by completing a bankable feasibility study after the second stage, such that total earnings will be 80%. Total percent. So earnings will be 80%. Sorry. Jose de Castro Alem, a Lithium Chile director and a resident of Salta, Argentina, will oversee the project on Lithium Chile's behalf. Mr. Castro Alem is a chemical engineer with over 25 years' experience in lithium brine projects, primarily in Argentina. Jose began his career with Livent in Argentina, and was one of the early founders of Orocobre. So you'll know a heck of a lot of experience here. With Orocobre, he was involved from the early exploration phases through to the construction of both evaporation ponds and the lithium production facility. So this is the guy you want there. That's all I got to say. He was also instrumental in the early exploration efforts by NRJ Metals Inc., which culminated in a discovery and preliminary resource estimates of over 500,000 tons of lithium. Is a large salt flat in the Andes in northwestern Argentina. Is located between the villages of Tolar Grande and Caipe, near Mina de la Costa, Los Angeles Department, Salta Province. Located in the central western area of the Puna de Atacama, so right over here. It covers an area of 1,600 kilometers squared per extension. The Salar is the sixth largest salt flat in the world and the second largest in Argentina after the Salinas Grandes. So look at that. That's wow. Okay. The salar is mined for metallic and non-metallic reasons as salt, marble, iron, copper, and non-oxide. The nearest salt flats are the ones in Hombre Muerto, North Catamarca provinces. All right. The Salar de Arizaro is crossed by the middle of the Salta Railway. So it's crossed by the Salta Antofagasta Airway. So Chile into Argentina. All right. And by provincial route 27. So here we go. So we have railway, we have provincial route. So already we have that. That's very, very, very good to know. So if we just do some view over here. So Salazar de Arizaro, one of the world's largest salt lakes. We saw it before. Considered 33,000 hectares, covering parts of western and eastern portions of Salar de Arizaro, located in Salta Province. One of the largest known salt lakes in the world. The Arizaro project includes 11 mining claims covering approximately 33,000 hectares. Area of excellent Puna infrastructure set to benefit from further development of the adjacent large-scale mining projects such as Taca Taca and Lindero. The Salar is traversed by highway and railroad, which we just saw, that connect the project to Chile and which we saw going through Chile, right? Where natural gas and industrial park are found. Location and infrastructure. The Arizaro Salt covers approximately 197,000 hectares, making it the third largest in the world. One of the few major, largely unexplored salars located within the Lithium Triangle. So this is great. Major, large, unexplored, all right, salars. Located, but we know we know that it holds a lot of lithium from what we saw earlier. One of the few large, located within 75, industrial park and natural gas pipeline within 45 kilometers of the Chile-Argentina border and 100 kilometers from Sal de Los Angeles project. The area is set to be the focus of near-term infrastructure upgrades as a result of the development of the Taca Taca and Lindero. Geology and brine. The basin is composed of predominant halite cores similar to Hombre Muerto, Rincon, and Atacama in Chile, SQM and Albemarle. So look at that. So the basin is composed. So this is great because these are some of the biggest. These are the biggest players. Some of the biggest players in the world. Many known large salars host geochemically different brines. Lix Arizaro project conveniently covers the salar. Okay. So if we go here and we look up, Lithium X is private. Okay. So this is a private company. See O'Brien Pass Braga. So this is something that that you keep your eye on, right? You know it's there. It's a private company. You see what they want to do. We're looking at the project through other people's eyes. What you can get from this. And we're trying to estimate. Doesn't mean that there's something going to be over there because there's something over here. But we're trying to understand what is in the salar. What's in this. So let's do a shareholder update over here. Let's go check this out. Shareholder update. On Monday, Lithium Chile, so this is the 20th of May. All right, so this is January, February. Remember, February was this, that person sold a few, and then in May this happens. On Monday, Lithium Chile announced a very exciting addition to its lithium portfolio. This new property gives the company location diversification, which is what I was just stating, 2 different countries, and an expedited timetable to feasibility and production. So amazing. Yet again, with COVID causing restrictions and delays in Chile, this dynamic and flexible management team has risen to the challenge to secure a property which comes fully permitted. Wow. Wow, look at that. Dig deeper, dig deeper. I didn't even know I was waiting for the permits to come. It secured a property which comes fully permitted. No indigenous claims. These were the things I was waiting for. These are the things I was waiting for to see if these things were coming up. And see, I'm not afraid to admit that on here. See, because now I've de-risked this even more. Okay, so the amount of money that I had inside here is an amount that I can afford to lose. This here may allow me to up that when I will take profits from somewhere else and put it here to make more profits. Okay, this is the way I do my stuff. I use profits to make more profits, and I let that portfolio just grow that way. So the amount of money that I had inside here, because I was waiting for news to come out about these things in the future. But as you can see here, it was stated in May. Now, I only got into this company just very recently, so I was not in it in May. Therefore, I didn't see this. And this just came up by looking up, because I was trying to put Arizora project, because I wanted to see in 2019 if they stated that there was indigenous claims and everything like that. So we could see now that it wasn't. Plus, Lithium Chile would not be purchasing anything that has indigenous claims and stuff like that. Not in this day and age. There's just no way in heck that anyone's doing that anymore. All right, we're not stepping on each other's heads in this day and age. Naturally, of course, it's not like that everywhere and stuff like that. But you know, let's have some faith. Try to have some faith in humanity. Yet again, with COVID restrictions causing restrictions delays. Okay, so here we go. Lithium Chile. Where are we now? I got to go back to that beautiful stuff I read. Here we are. So this dynamic and flexible management team has risen to a challenge and secure property which comes fully permitted. Amazing. So we have 2 different countries. This is fully permitted. No indigenous claims. With exceptional sampling grades. Highs of 951 compared with average Argentina grades of 506. So we're almost double the average amount. And a known lithium reserve, which is more than Millennial Lithium. Insane. They have negotiated a deal which did not use any shares, looking out for their shareholders and ensuring no dilution. Oh, wait a minute. We have a company here that's thinking of us? Wow. That's great as well, right? And minimal expenditure to complete the pumping well stage. Lithium Chile are already in discussions to get their drilling platform construction company, part of the Gali Group, who are the other party in the agreement, on the property as soon as a legal due diligence completed. Now we saw the signed and agreement. We saw the drilling is already there. Everything, all this work, because this is in May. We're already in September. The future is already here. This stuff is already done. This part of it right here. This could be a little story there. So it is done. They would start immediate to drill, which is happening, and run the pumping well, taking results continuously, completing their 90-day testing period by October, November. So we're right. This is where we're going now, right? We're here. This promises to be a hugely exciting time for Lithium Chile with almost constant press releases and results over the next 6 months. Chile is still very much part of their focus, and even during lockdowns, they have not stood still on Coipasa. They are actively lobbying to get their core award granted as quickly as possible, and once lockdown was eased in their areas. They were straight out of Laguna Blanca and Carmona, taking over 400 samples, which should be due back in the next couple of weeks. Look out for press releases not only on lithium, but also on their copper, gold, and you know what? Like so my God. Well, that's good. Let's keep on going, man. So geographical diversification of lithium portfolio. Still within a bountiful lithium triangle. Great. One of the only junior mining companies with active 2 lithium triangle basically in 2 countries. Accelerated timetable feasibility production. 7 mining tenants, substantial dominant central land position of 23,300 hectares on the largest and last undeveloped salar in Argentina. We already did some of this research. We saw this, right? We saw the private lithium X. We did the Wikipedia. Adjacent to the lithium heavyweights, so heavyweights, you see this here. We saw that there was a railroad. We saw that there's a Highway 27, I believe it was. Located South Prize, placed 4th in the world by the Fraser Institute's 2009 investment and tracked in the index, extremely well managed. Larger surface area in the entire Salar de Pasos Grande, where Millennial Lithium's project is located. So largest surface area than the entire Salar de Pasos Grande, where concession is larger than Lithica's interest on Salar de Pasos. So wow. Location on this railroad, we saw that. To Chilean ports, airstrip at Mansfield, water at Chascasur, the potential for solar panels. Exploration trenches, pits, and 3 holes completed, approximately 950 meters in total. Results show exploration potential for deep brines. Resampling showed positive pressure from brine's body at depth. Very good lithium grades and excellent chemistry. Well, we saw already what they had put it at. Over 850 over here. We're talking about this was in from 3 to over in 2019. Now we have 900 and something we saw, which was almost double the average Argentina. Geophysical reports and geochemical testing completed. Both studies encourage exploration of lithium-rich brines in the aquifer system. Exploration and environmental impact study presented and approved by the mine secretary of the province of Salta. Permits granted for advanced exploration and initial exploitation works. Permits include construction of construction ponds. Expert lithium mining management, Jose de Caso, which we saw, which we saw that he was part of Orocobre and stuff like that from beginning to end. That's amazing. And the Galley Group, outstanding opportunity to earn up to 80% interest. Potential to have an accelerated timetable to production feasibility within 12 months. Man, that's going to go fast. That's going to go real fast. Laguna Blanca, further exploration undertaken to extend the 42 square kilometer cesium enriched salt deposits has taken place, and over 100 additional samples are being analyzed. In addition, 40 liters of brine have been sent to Summit Nanotech to run through their pilot. A check sample was taken from this sample and sent to LS Labs for analysis. Results back to shortly. Watch for press release. In February, a TM survey was conducted on the property. This identified a large 13 square kilometer high conductivity anomaly underlying 70% of the property. Further analysis underway to determine if a reconnaissance drill program is warranted. Samples from the existing water wells have been collected and sent for analysis. There is no indigenous surface claims for this property, which will expedite the permitting process. Cuepasa, Chilean courts are still closed, still awaiting compensation award to be given before drilling can commence. Lithium Chile has recently proactively recruited a courts expert to help expedite their award through the courts. Atacama, further testing of existing water wells will be undertaken shortly. Carmona, Lithium Chile's battery metal property. Continuing analysis of copper, cobalt, and gold samples. An IP geophysical survey over the southern anomaly being planned. Further sampling of the central and northern anomalies planned. Over 400 samples taken and results should be returned shortly. Lithium Chile and Summit Nanotech signed a definitive agreement in March for their joint pilot project in Chile, which is expected to be deployed for field testing in Q4 2021. 2 sites have been identified and drilling permits have been applied in those locations. Lithium Chile is also now looking at obtaining appropriate permits to allow the pilot project move to their Salar de Arizora in Argentina, so they have the option of sites. This is the big one that we saw over here. So, you know, and this is in August. So we have all of this pandemic not affecting timetable. You know, and we have here we have section of 12 lithium projects, sellers in Chile. You know, when I look at this, so over the counter is LTMCF and Canadian ticker is LITH.V. I find if you put up LITH, it doesn't really pop up right away, depending on, I guess, the broker you're using. Or if you even do it on Yahoo Finance, I find you have to put LITH.V for it to pop up. And actually, if you put this one up, it'll pop up. And if you put Lithium Chile, both will pop up, right? So naturally, there's no revenue at the moment, right? We could well, no. If I go into their income statement over here, I don't see a revenue over here in 2020, whereas they had, a small amount of revenue over here, 90,000. 2020, I'm not getting anything over here. Selling, general, administrative, net income. So we're in the negatives here. This net income is larger than the rest. If I go to their balance sheet, you have your total assets over here versus your liabilities, which is almost none, which is going exactly what we saw before. No, but they are negative in retained earnings. Total liability and stockholder equity, we see it here in the positive. And this is all numbers in the thousands, right? So now what we have over here, what I'm looking for is the cash flow end of period. Well, they have cash end of period, which is more than the previous other, well, more than these 2 other years here. Actually, when you look at a company like this, you're trying to make a wise decision. So you saw that there's no revenue for 2020. There was previous revenue, not huge amount. We saw in Simply Wall Street that all checks and balances, everything's green. And then you go and you look at the financial statements, and you're like, okay, you got cash at the end of the period, but basically retained earnings are negative because they don't have production up. But production is up and coming. We have to supposedly within the next 12 months. That would change everything, right? Naturally, we're gonna have to get more lithium cars up and stuff, more EV, more electrical vehicle cars up and going, which is part of the timetable, right? We saw a war happening between CATL and Ganfeng. We know that we're going to have to start getting into more nickel and stuff like that as well. And we have the project in 2 different countries. And we're going to need a lot more lithium. So naturally, I would definitely put in, like a company like this, I would definitely put in what I can afford to lose. And because of all the permits and everything they have up, because of the quality that we saw, which above the average Argentinian grade, it leads me to believe that I would probably test the waters here, and I would probably go in. It is still an amount that I can afford to lose. Okay, it would still be an amount I could afford to lose. But I would be, naturally, when I'm saying put in an amount you can afford to lose, it's an amount that you go, it really sucks, but it doesn't have a negative impact on your life. It's just on your psychology, right? Because you just don't want to lose money. No one wants to lose money. No one wants to throw money in the toilet. But it doesn't impact your life. When I look at a project like this and I say, where's my risk tolerance in here now? So I'm going to put in the amount I can afford to lose, but what's my risk tolerance? I want to balance these 2 out. What's the risk associated of putting my money in here and maybe upping the amount that I could afford to lose in a project like this? Well, let's say if $1,000 is an amount that you go, oof, that really hurt, but whatever. I'll go to work and I'll make it back. Some people it's $200. Some people it's $50. Some people could be $5,000, right? And more. If it's a company, it could be $1 million, $10 million, whichever company it is. So you say to yourself, okay, so what's the amount I could afford to lose? For me, in this company, looking at all the permits and this and that, within 12 months, production, 80% interest, right, and all this kind of stuff, and I'm going, 2 different countries, stable cash running for 3 years, blah, blah, blah. I put all these things together, knowing that lithium is going to be extremely needed. I've done the research, knowing that this isn't just a, something that, is going to be here today, gone tomorrow. It's not happening with this. This is not the Danny DeVito era of them coming out with cars at one point. Danny DeVito picking one up, and then all of a sudden, the American car maker goes and recalls all their EV cars back, and ending that. So this is every single industry is looking for a solution, and then you have the World Economic Forum and stuff like that. So electrification is happening. It's happening. So you're like, okay, so this is not a fad. So okay, so where am I going with this? So you have to think, well, there's the salt battery, sodium battery that CATL came up with, but that's for cars we're looking at in generations from now. And so you're thinking, you're like, okay, millennial, this has more than millennial as well. There was a bidding war for that. This is going to be interesting to a lot of companies out there. Someone's going to want to probably come in on this. So your risk factors, you start mitigating the risk factors and stuff like that, and you're like, okay, well, let's say if in my head I say, well, I could afford to lose $5,000, let's just say, because I had diversified my portfolio well enough that I had made a certain amount of money. Whereas maybe in the beginning of 2020 and stuff like that, or whatever, maybe my amount would have been $300, $500, and I could say that was what I could afford to lose: $300, $400, $500. Now you're going, okay, well, I can afford to lose like $5 grand, $8 grand, and then you say, well, okay, let's take the risk factors associated here, and having production up in 12 months, and you're like, okay, well, maybe now I can afford to lose like 20 grand, because you're mitigating the risk. So are you going to lose all 20 grand? Well, no, out of the 20 grand, if something starts to fall and you're paying attention to your stocks and you're paying attention to what's out there and it starts to really fall, and you see that article comes out that this is happening, and it's like, whoa, the world's going to end. Okay, well, maybe you might lose 3,000-4,000 out of the 20 that you just went in, right? And how much was I able to afford to lose in that? Well, maybe I was able to afford to lose like 8 grand. So if I'm losing 3,000 out of the 20 now, because I'm mitigating the risk factors in a different sense. So instead of saying, well, I can lose all of the 5,000, let's just say. So let's just start this over. Let's say I say let's take smaller numbers. I can lose $1,000, and I do the risk factors associated. I mean, there's always external things that can come in or internal things, but you have to always pay attention to your companies that you're invested in, and the macroeconomics of the area, right? What could affect them. So you're like, okay, I could lose $1,000. That's what I could afford to lose. I've done the risk factors employed in this. I believe the stock is going to go up. Production in 12 months. Drilling is there. They're ahead of schedule. All permits are up and running. So if I can afford to lose $1,000, I might want to pick up more shares though, because the only way I'm going to lose all $1,000 or more is if the plant just shuts down overnight and you're done. All right. But you're willing to take a chance on losing that $1 grand. So you're like, okay, well, I can purchase more shares. I'm willing to lose $1,000. So maybe I can put in, with the risk factors associated to this, I can put in $2,000 or $3,000, because I know I can lose $1,000, which would suck, but won't change my life. And then I would get out. So even if the stock goes down a bit, and you're losing 200 or 100 or 300 or 400, but it's always going up and down, up and down, up and down, you're always keeping an eye on that 1,000 mark, and you keep an eye on the news, right? Because if it's the whole market going down, and it's just bringing down, the pressure is just bringing down the stock, that might not be a reason to sell, right? Because then if the market goes back up, you're fine, So you gotta weigh all of that. So if it's something that's directly in the company or the macroeconomics affecting the company, and then you have to get out, well, okay, then you take it. But the thing is, if you're picking up 2,000, 3,000 worth of shares, you've increased your shares, but you could only afford to lose that $1,000. So you had to be very, very careful with that kind of play, because you are in a risky play. But I've weighed in the risk factor, and I'm going, wow, what can affect this stock? Not the indigenous claims, not applying for the permits, the construction, everything right up to production of the ponds, which is going to give them money within a 12-month period, let's just say, because it brings lithium Chile up to production. So where are my risks in this? Is it because the lithium won't be quality? It's not what I'm seeing because they're already above average. So I'm guessing battery grade. So what? They're gonna go bankrupt overnight? Well, they have more than 3 years cash on hand. We've done the research, so now we're looking at maybe bigger things. Maybe we're looking at, maybe the country saying no more lithium companies. Okay, that would suck, right? You would have to get out of there real quick and make sure that you lose only up to $1,000. So I'm actually thinking that even for myself, I will be upping my amount that I can afford to lose on the risks associated to putting money into them. So basically, I'm taking the amount I could afford to lose, that would just be more of a psychological thing, to a higher level of an amount that I could still afford to lose, but now I would be pissed off losing it. All right? It's still not affecting my everyday life. It's still not affecting, debts or whatever, because things are covered. So it's not affecting anything, right? It's just a higher amount that if like the company shut down overnight, like I'd have to make that money back. It would suck, whatever. I probably wouldn't be trading immediately right away. I'd be waiting for, cruise lines to go up, or I'd be waiting for more, for more profits to come in to then start making other plays. But if they're not just shutting overnight, and you get some news and then you take a loss, but I can lose up to $1,000, so I can take the risk of putting a little bit more. Naturally, you have to be careful, because if you look at what happened with Nemaska, they pretty much wiped out their shareholders, and you have to always keep these types of things in mind. So when you look at greed versus reality, now you bring yourself back from this high going, oh, I could pick up a ton of shares, and then you say, oh, well, wait a minute. I was gonna, I invested at what I could afford to lose, and now I was thinking up here, but now I'm thinking about what happened with Nemaska, and I'm going, well, maybe I should meet a little lower, and that would be the perfect tolerance level for what I can afford to lose, because you have to be very careful about what can happen out there, right? The people, Nemaska, what had happened, people, got wiped out. So you have to be very, very careful. So you did your research. Now you know that you put in what you could afford to lose. You saw potential. You did your research, and now all of a sudden you took mitigated the risks associated with everything, and you're like, wow, I can really put in this amount and not really have to worry. But I will check every single day. I will do my research. I will be on it, okay, like crazy, because it's your job to be on it like nuts. It's no one else's job. All right, don't forget. First of all, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just talking, like I said, I've created this YouTube channel for my children, so my children see this one day, and they will learn how to invest. This is my way of investing. I've tried investing other people's ways, and you know what? For me, it doesn't work, but when I invest my way, I do have a background in accounting and management, marketing, and all this kind of stuff, and in lots of that. So the thing is that when I do it my way, I find it works for me. I've been very successful, but I've tried other people's ways, and I guess because I haven't practiced the techniques and stuff like that, but my way works for me. So, so basically, one day my kids are looking at this. This is exactly what I'd say. So you're getting in. You have your amount that you can afford to lose, which is just a little psychological, but you can go to sleep at night, which is here. You do all your research. Now you're like, oh, I can go in this much, because if I still lose this, I get out in time. Well, who cares? But I can pick up this many shares now, right? But then you have to always remember companies like Nemaska, where the shareholders are just wiped out. Well, maybe this is not exactly the perfect place to be, even though you've taken all the risk into consideration. and everything looks great because you have it's fully permitted and all this kind of stuff, no indigenous claims and blah, 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 up to production in 12 months. Fine, over 3 years stable cash runway. And then you go, okay, but Nemaska wiped out overnight, all right? And what was it? Lithium prices went down, whatever, and you know that was it. Just, there's more to it than that. Go research the Nemaska claim, Quebec, and all this kind of stuff, and you'll see what happened there. And then you say, okay, well that could happen to them, that could happen to me. So you know what? Let me bring that from there. Let me bring it somewhere, maybe around here. I can go halfway, but this might be the better option. So I'm going to raise. You know, instead of having 1,000 to go to 5,000, let's just say, well, I'm going to raise my 1,000 to bring, you know, maybe I'll put in an extra 1,000. So instead of being like 2,500, which was the halfway mark, 5,000, you know, and you know what? That extra 1,000 picks up an extra amount of shares. And when it goes up and up and up and up, and you're making all these profits, you'll be happy. And then you just use this methodology in other risk factor type plays. But you have other money diversified into other growth stocks, and you know, and you're always growing your portfolio. And you take those, you know, you take those profits, and then you do the same thing over and over again. So with that all being said, I'm definitely bullish on lithium Chile, and I'm actually going to be raising my the amount that I have in it. All that being said, everybody, that's it on lithium Chile, and you know, keep up with the news on lithium Chile. It looks like a great play, all right? So we got neolithium out there, we got lithium Chile, and then we have North American nickel when it comes to you know, battery minerals, and then of course we're going to have to be looking up for graphite. So all that being said, I'm pretty bullish on lithium Chile, and I will be raising my amount in lithium Chile. That is for sure, and you know, I'm going to see if there's a dip that's going to occur, and if there's a dip, I'm going to be picking that up. I'm having a hard time seeing that there might be a dip in it, especially knowing what is out there and where they are. This is probably a really good amount right now, so I might pick up more shares. Like I'll go in half to buy what's out there on Monday, and see if it's going to dip down. If it'll dip down, I'll just buy the other half amount that on that. So anyways, all that being said is I'm very bullish on lithium Chile. I'm bullish on neolithium, and of course we have North American nickel when it comes to nickel, and I'm going to look at North American nickel next. All right, guys. So always remember, research, prepare, plan, execute, and stay strong, everybody. Stay strong. Hello to everyone out there. Just taking 2 seconds of your time and asking you to hit the subscribe and the like button. I'd like to also direct you to betweenplays.com, www.betweenplays.com, where we put up many different articles. We have 3 different writers at the moment, and we're trying to up the authors. And go to our Twitter account for like really quick information at betweenplays1, and we'll be able to get people to, you know, pre-market information and whatever comes along that, you know, is important to macroeconomics, microeconomics. As we say here, our motto: research, prepare, plan, execute. Always do your due diligence, and stay strong, everybody. Stay strong.